Well, what are they?
I know how to drive a man crazy.
Well, I'd certainly like to test those skills of yours out.
A choking noise had me instantly turning toward a coughing Mr. Wolf whose face, what I could see of it anyway, was beet red. Are you okay?
Fine. Perfectly fine. Nothing wrong.
That's enough foolishness. Miss Archer, you will sit this out as you have no worthwhile skills.
Hold it right there, Mommy. Who died and made you leader?
I'm the most logical member of our team, so it's only
As
natural.
if. There's nothing natural about it. A leader requires people skills, which you obviously lack.
Do you want to be leader? Because that timid wolf certainly isn't going to do it.
No.
I didn't think so.
But I say we let Miss Archer lead.
What use is a leader who...
All in favor?
I'm not opposed.
I guess I don't have a problem with it.
You've been outvoted again. You may want to work on those people skills of yours, Mommy.
Fine. I'm not going to argue about this. Well, leader, how should we proceed?
Do we know anything about this door we need to find?
It's hidden and has a special lock.
That's it?
Pretty much.
Then I guess we should split up and look for...
Actually, we need to choose our team first.
Oh, right. Okay. I guess I'll pick Mr. Bandages and the Count.
Naturally.
Let's have fun with this.
Good luck.
Mr. Wolf looked around for a moment, uncertain about what he was supposed to do. Mr. Bandages let out a sound of irritation before getting up and knocking on the door. It opened to reveal the waiter from earlier. Was he standing out there the entire time?
The wolf's out this round.
He sent a pointed look to the envelope in the waiter's hand.
If that's the second clue, you can give it to
You're
me.
not the leader, Miss Archer is. So the clue should go to her.
The waiter nodded, handed me the envelope, and then led Mr. Wolf out of the room. The two of you knew there would be another clue?
There usually is in Erik's games.
Well, are you going to read it or not?
I opened the letter and scanned it before reading it aloud. A key that must be held, a key that must be spun, and a third that must be solved until you're left with none. That's the clue, but there's also this part that says we don't need to leave this room to find the first key. I guess we should start looking.
I doubt we're looking for a normal key, so keep an eye out for anything unusual.
We set out examining the contents of the room, but there was one thing I couldn't help but wonder. Where are we supposed to use this key?
Let's just focus on finding it first.
We looked around for a bit longer, but I found nothing even remotely resembling a key. A loud noise of banging had my head whipping around, but I couldn't see the cause.
I found it.
Mr. Bandages was balanced on a chair with his hand reaching awkwardly above one of the shelves. He pulled his hand back a bit and the wall behind us slid open, but the moment he let go, the wall slammed back down, repeating the noise from earlier.
By the looks of it, this key needs someone to actively keep it open. It's in a bit of an awkward position though, so the person has to stay behind while the others go through.
How long do you think you can keep it open?
Long enough for the two of you to get through. I won't be able to follow though, so you better not screw this up.
Good to see you have so much faith in us.
Come on, Miss Archer. Let's leave this stuffy old guy behind.
He grabbed my hand and pulled me over to the hidden door before giving Mr. Bandages the go-ahead to open it. The moment it was high enough, we darted through, not wanting to risk the door falling on us. A hallway. I don't see anything to be spun here.
Must be closer to the other end. We'll be alone together for a bit longer. I'm glad.
Mr. Bandages, we're going to explore this hallway.
Fine. If you need to get back, just knock. I'm not staying in this position if I don't have to.
Having said that, he let the door slam shut. The Count and I walked through the hallway until we came to a dead end with a table that had a strange machine on it.
The key that must be spun. A Windsor's machine. I guess they're expecting to provide electricity to move the door. Let me do this. A lady shouldn't have to do physical labor.
He spun the handle a few times, observing how much effort it took to move the door and keep it open. After a while, he turned to me, looking determined.
I can keep the door open long enough for you to get through. But the moment I let go of the handle, it's just going to fall back down. I guess this is where we part for now. Good luck.
Thank you. I positioned myself in front of the door and he started spinning it again. The moment it was high enough, I darted under and entered the new room. This room actually had a door that wasn't hidden. Something that needs to be solved. I walked up to the door and the third clue became clear. There was a sliding puzzle on it. Piece of cake. You know, from how intense Mr. Bandages seems, I was imagining these games to be a lot more, I don't know, challenging? But I guess this is pretty fun. Oh, it's Kippy! I love Kippy! And done! That was easier than I thought. The moment the last piece slid into place, a different door swung open and a man walked in.
Well done. Your team receives 5 points for this task. Your team awaits you.
I followed him into a room where the three of them were sitting.
I guess having you on the team isn't such a bad thing.
She got us a 5. If you ask me, that isn't bad at all. It's great.
You did really well.
Don't let it go to your head, though. This was just the first task.
I took a seat and turned my attention to the big screen television. So, what are we watching?
The other team's tasks
But those...
are different from what we did. Each team received a unique task.
It's quite fun to watch.
It's not fun, it's research. We might get some of these tasks later. Not to mention knowing how many people you need to watch out for in a competition isn't a bad thing.
It can also be fun research.
Wolf, I will slap you with my model hand.
A couple of hours later, a now familiar tone sounded. Another announcement?
All teams have now finished their task. One way or another, congratulations to those who were successful, and my condolences to those that weren't. Don't worry too much. Tomorrow is another day after all. As for today, normally I'd have everyone gather in the dining hall for dinner, but seeing as we're doing the whole team thing, we might as well stick to it. Dinner will be brought to each team's current team area, but be warned, your performance in the task determines the quality of food. Enjoy!
Another tone signaled the end of the announcement. A waiter came in wheeling a cart filled with food covered with silver domes, followed by another waiter with more food, and another, and... Is this all for us?
Don't sound so surprised.
But it's so much.
Eat what you like. The staff will take care of the rest.
You act like this is a normal thing.
Isn't it?
Not to most people.
Well, we're not most people.
And Erik likes to splurge.
Well, that explains the entire event.
Too much money, not enough. I was distracted by the aromas wafting toward me as the food was uncovered. I immediately set about filling my plate.
Someone's easily distracted.
I think a healthy appetite is a good thing.
A moment on the lips, a lifetime on the hips.
You're the one that needs to worry about that, Mr. Skeleton.
I'll have you know that this body is the result of a strict exercise regimen and nutrition plan.
And mine's the result of enjoying myself. I fail to see your point.
How the hell are we like the same weight then?
Wow, this food is great. You guys really eat like this all the time?
Pretty much. Although I like to eat simpler stuff sometimes too.
Man, you guys are lucky.
Everyone at this event should be able to afford to eat like this, so I don't see what luck has to do with it.
Well, my family always had to watch our budget growing up, so splurging just isn't something I feel right doing, even if it's on food.
I really admire people like you know.
Wait, me? Why? I'm not anything special.
You weren't born into this lifestyle, but you managed to work your way to it.
All he did was sing.
Even so, getting into the industry is something that doesn't happen for a lot of people. let alone becoming famous.
I was just lucky my manager found me. I didn't really do anything.
Your skill sheet says you can play instruments, dance, read music?
I'm passionate about music. Don't people usually research and dabble in what they're passionate about? I didn't do anything unusual. Things just worked out in my favor, and now I'm doing what I love doing.
Well, I, for one, am glad they did. Maybe when we win, you could sing us a victory song. He ducked his head shyly.
Thanks. I'll see what I can do.
When we win, someone's cocky.
Not cocky, confident.
Confidence is good. Very good.
It's a bit early to be too confident. We don't even have a secure lead yet.
But we will, if we all do our best.
I play to win. You want my best? You've got it.
I certainly don't mind doing my best in service of a beautiful lady.
I'll do what I can, and try not to get in the way.
Honestly, watching them at that moment, I couldn't help but feel that we could make a great team. When I woke up the next day, the first thing I did after getting ready for the day was check for a note under the door. I found no note, but the sound of a fire alarm stopped me from thinking too much about it. Instead, I pulled open the door and rushed out into the hall and made my way outside. From the looks of it, everyone else had had the same idea. Glancing around, I saw Mr. Bandages standing to the side, away from the pandemonium caused by the other guests rushing out onto the lawn. A few seconds later, I saw Mr. Wolf trying to get through the crowd, but failing. I kept looking around to try and locate the Count, but to no avail. I should keep looking for the Count. He had to have made it out on time, right? I started to walk around while scanning the faces of everyone in the crowd. Maybe I missed him? He wouldn't still be in there after the fire alarm sounded, would he? Maybe he overslept. But who could sleep through a fire alarm? I was so deep in thought that a hand on my shoulder had me jumping in fright.
I didn't mean to startle you now.
Where the hell were you?
Looking for the rest of you? Well, Mommy was easy enough to find, trust me. But you're short enough that finding you in a crowd is...
I was looking for you.
I guess we kept missing each other then.
I guess so.
Well, now that we've found each other, we should probably meet up with the others, even if I'd rather have you all to myself. Just a little longer.
You're right, the others might be worried. Well, Mr. Wolf might be worried.
Did she just ignore me completely?
We made our way to where Mr. Wolf and Mr. Bandages were standing.
Eric's got us all out here. The least he can do is tell us why.
You noticed it too then.
What are the two of you talking about? Isn't there a fire or something?
If it was a real fire, the sprinkler system would have kicked in, and the help would also be out here tending to the guests or trying to control the situation.
Erik doesn't skimp on safety precautions.
So, this was planned.
Seems like it.
Wasn't that a bit much? Couldn't he have just used the PA system to tell us to assemble on the lawn?
You'll find that our host has a flair for the dramatic, even in the most inappropriate situations.
Well, it does make life fun.
Is that Mr. Valdemar up there on the roof?
We all looked to see someone in a phantom costume standing on the roof.
There's that dramatic flair I was talking about.
I thank you all for gathering out here this fine morning. I hope that you slept well. There's nothing quite like a fire scare to get the blood pumping. But rest assured, that there was no fire. Today's task will require every member of each team to work together. I hope you will enjoy it.
He dropped something and disappeared in a cloud of smoke. He's not even going to tell us what the task is?
Wait for it.
Suddenly, a multitude of waiters pushing carts of food spewed out of the mansion. One of them made a beeline for us.
Your clue, Miss Archer.
He handed me an envelope before removing the covering on the food.
And your breakfast.
The Count, Mr. Wolf, and I dug in with gusto.
Could you at least let me read the clue first?
Food now, clue later. He let out a frustrated noise before joining us in devouring the delicacies provided. Once I was satisfied, I opened the envelope to read our clue. It's only half a clue.
How can you tell?
It says right here that we need to find the other half.
Damn Erik and his need for 2 clues.
Is it really 2 clues, Ev?
Yes. Are you going to read it out, or are we just going to stand here all day?
Keep your bandages on, please. I was about to read it out. Find the troll of riddles. There you'll negotiate. Let's see if you can pass this very special gate.
Troll of riddles? Erik.
I don't think that's the kind of troll it means.
Gross bridge and treasure guarding troll then?
Probably. It is a Halloween event after all.
Pity. I was hoping to get a chance to yell at him.
So, any idea where the troll would be?
If Erik wants to be a drama queen, which he always does, it'd be at a bridge.
There's a bridge in the South Gardens.
South Gardens? Does he have North, East, and West Gardens too?
Then I guess that's our destination.
I'm surprised you didn't know that.
The South Gardens are far too showy for my taste. Who needs a river, a hedge maze, a greenhouse, a gazebo, and a fountain in the same place?
Erik, apparently. We followed the Count around the outside of the mansion until a bridge and a man in a troll costume came into view.
If the fact we're the only guests here is any indication, we're the only ones with this clue.
Is that a good or bad thing?
It's an Erik thing. He likes to make things complicated.
Halt, mortals! What business do you have here?
So, this is your bridge? At least we know you're not
I will not deign to speak to a female!
What the? Hey! Well, that's just rude and sexist.
Do any of you males have business with me?
We were.
Oh, no, you don't. Team meeting, now. I grabbed him and pulled him out of earshot of the troll. Looking back, I was glad to see that the others had followed obediently. He won't speak to me, but we need to negotiate.
That's what I was trying to.
No, you were trying to usurp me.
What? I can't do both?
Let me do it. I can charm the pants off of... Wait, that probably isn't the best thing to say when we're discussing a troll.
I could give it a shot, but...
Or you could just let me do what I was about to.
Do we even know what we're negotiating for?
Passage in the second clue, I'd wager.
I doubt that's all. Those are things we need. So negotiating just for them and failing seems too harsh for one of Erik's games.
True.
Miss Archer, who would you rather have negotiate?
What happened to voting? Why does she get to?
She's the leader. This is a game decision. It's her choice. Besides, you wouldn't win a vote anyway.
Well, this is easy. I think the Count should negotiate. It is listed as one of his skills, after all.
Your faith in me warms my heart.
Good luck, again.
I don't need luck. I have skill.
Let's see these skills of yours in action.
Don't be too envious of me now, Mommy.
The Count went to talk to the troll and returned a few minutes later looking pleased.
I'll let Miss Archer and Mr. Wolf through. Give them the second clue in walkie-talkies.
So much for your skills. If you were the master negotiator you claim to be, you'd have gotten us all through.
From what I found out from the troll, walkie-talkies are much more useful in the next part of the task, than the number of people you have, that is.
Fine, but why him?
The troll thinks he's a kid, and women and children rate low enough to the troll that he counted them as one person.
One person?
The troll is a troll.
At least it worked in our favor.
True. Come on, Mr. Wolf. We have a task to complete.
Okay.
You have no idea how lucky you are, Mr. Wolf. You get to have a romantic time in the South Gardens with Miss Archer.
What?
Ignore him. Just focus on the task. And remember, you'll have to deal with me if you mess up.
I'll try not to.
Was that really necessary, Mr. Wet Bandages?
I'd rather have him worried than a blushing, stuttering mess that can't think straight.
Well, we're going now.
Remember, don't fail.
This time when we tried to cross the bridge, we were met with no resistance.
Take this.
He handed a walkie-talkie to each of us.
This way, if you get separated, you can still contact your mother.
My mother?
I am not that old!
Take this too.
Ugh. He shoved the second clue into my hand and walked off. Rude!
Yeah.
Let's see what this clue says. Get up high and see below. Where you stop, you should know. This clue is shorter than the others.
I guess that's why it said half.
Good point. So, up high. The roof?
I don't think he'd make us come outside then try to get up on the roof.
You never know.
How about I climb that tree over there before we try scaling the mansion? It certainly seems pretty high.
Are you sure you...
Climbing a tree is something I can definitely do. I used to do it all the time as a kid. I kinda miss it.
Then go for it.
Alright.
He hooked his walkie-talkie to the side of his costume and started to climb. Once he reached one of the higher branches, he stopped and looked around. After a moment, I heard a crackling sound and his voice came over the walkie-talkie.
I think I get what he was trying to say.
Yeah?
That huge hedge is in fact a hedge maze. From up here, I can see the way to the goal.
So these walkie-talkies are so you can lead me to it?
Seems like it.
All right, I'll follow your directions.
I'll do my best to guide you. North.
Okay.
Go west.
I don't have a compass, so I'm going to assume you mean turn left.
And one more time.
Right.
South. Definitely south.
You got it.
West, I think.
Can do.
And one more time.
Roger.
Go north.
North it is.
East, I think.
To the east.
North. Definitely north.
Sure.
Now, north again.
Right.
Now west. No, wait, the other one.
Are you sure you can?
Now go north and hang 2 rights.
You want me to U-turn? Oh, okay.
Yeah, just like that. Now turn left and go north. Should be a straight shoot north and then head west when you hit the wall.
Okay.
Now head north and you're out.
All right. When I reached the goal point, there was a man waiting for me.
You have successfully completed this task. Your team receives 5 points for this task. I'll lead you out.
I followed him back to the bridge where Mr. Wolf, Mr. Bandages, and the Count were waiting.
You did it!
Not bad.
Your navigational skills are superb.
Thanks.
Please follow me to your team room.
We arrived at our team room just in time for an announcement.
Due to a multitude of comments, dinner will no longer be based on score. That is all. Enjoy the rest of the day.
The tone signaling the end of the message sounded.
That's a pity. I really like the idea.
I wonder who complained.
Hey, don't look at me. I actually thought it was a good idea. It was useful for encouraging competition.
Only in those that would rather not have the lower quality food.
Which was apparently a multitude.
Let's Dub Project.